micro training on this particular symptom. People are definitely feeling some dampness. Now, as of this recording, we're going through the fall season and there's been quite a bit of rain. And so you may have noticed, people that you know talk about their knees aching or their back hurting because of the damp. And sometimes people have sinus congestion because of the damp. I constitutionally tend to have dampness. It's just part of my earthly constitution to have a tendency to damp. So that means that I avoid damp foods most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time. So damp foods would be like things that are sweet, milky, fried foods. So ice cream, for example, is a very damp food. Yeah, I mean, cow's milk, definitely very, very damp. And some people will notice that their Chinese medicine doctors say, well, stop eating or drinking, cheese and milk because it causes dampness. So if you have stuffy nose, a lot of the time postnasal drip, or sometimes abdominal swelling or swelling in your legs, or swelling around your knees or achy joints when it's damp out, then that means you have some form of excess damp. So the point I'm going to show you today is spleen 9 and how to patch for spleen 9 to constitutionally help support you to release the damp. So I'm going to show my screen here. And here is a great site talking about acupuncture points. And this is about spleen 9. So I'm just going to read this for you because it's a little bit tiny. Let me see if I can get it a little bit bigger. There we go. So, so spleen 9 is on the inside of the knee. I'll give you another picture in a moment about that. And if you just go under the bone here and you kind of draw your thumb around that bone where the tibia kind of arches into your knee, you'll actually poke around there and you'll find a sore spot. That is spleen 9. That is definitely sore. It's raining today. What is it indicated for in Chinese medicine? Abdominal distension and swelling, water swelling. Here's this jaundice, diarrhea, inhibited urination or incontinence, genital pain, seminal emission, knee pain. So, and if you go to a different resource, it'll say slightly different things. But I'm going to show you this other drawing here about spleen 9. So as you can see, hopefully you can see my cursor, where the tibial, here's the tibial plateau here. When you go down the leg and you just keep touching the inside part of that bone of the tibia, poke around, and then you'll find a slightly sore spot. So if you're watching this video, please comment below if you found it, okay? So maybe it's not sore on you. Maybe you're not tendency to be damp. Lucky you. But see if you think you found it. So please type in below the comments, I found it. Okay, if you found this point. Now there is a spleen 9 on the left and a spleen 9 on the right. So if we really want to get this channel balanced, not just the whole, not just the points, you can actually use energy enhancer phototherapy patches here. You can also use IceWave as well. The third option is you can use a patch on the left that is relatively yin or negatively charged versus the white patches that are positively charged, which are like glutathione and Aeon and carnosine, for example. The negatively charged one is SP6 or any of the tan patches. So let me review. You can use energy enhancer patches, white on right, tan on left. You can use IceWave, white on right, tan on left. Or you could use a combination with SP6 as the negative patch and then a white one on the right. So my favorite is probably Aeon and SP6. So Aeon on the right, SP6 on the left. And why? Because it actually has a hormonal balancing function as well. And us women, well, we like to have our hormones balanced, right? And the other thing too is you happen to have inflammation in your knee, or especially the right knee, Aeon would be great because that'll be near that area of inflammation, and Aeon is really great for decreasing inflammation. So right and left. So spleen 9. Yeah, spleen 9. So that's where you want to patch for the day to support the release of that excess damp. And there are other points that you can use for phlegm and sinuses, and we can get to some of that in another micro training. But spleen on is a very, very good point to use. And if yours is sore, that is probably a good sign that you should probably patch with, one of the sets of patches on this point. And before I end